Hey there, welcome to SharkCast Pod, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, the mighty Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. This is Gaz and Shinazz. That's Gaz, I'm Shinazz. And we are at the most beautiful place in the world, Sharks Stadium. As you can see, a bright, beautiful blue autumn day. Gary's a bit nervous about his Knicks. By the end of this episode, we'll know whether he's living or dying. Hopefully he's living. Gary, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be back. Always nice to jump on with you, Sam. It's a bit hard to follow up from the Ben Harlem episode. That man can talk very well and for very long times. So I'm going to try and do my best to keep up with him. But thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we did an episode with Ben Harlem from the USA, Sirius XM. Go listen and watch previous episode. But we're here, Gaz and Shinazz. It's your show, so we can't do this without you. Although maybe in a few weeks we will. But everything is beautiful and blue and black and white, except for our performance last week against the Roosters. Let's not sugarcoat it. It stunk. And I realize talking like this around here will probably get me coat hanged by C. Fitzgibbon at any point, but we can't sugarcoat it. The boys just did not put in a good enough performance. Gary, you were up there. What was the mood like and how did it go down?
Pre-game and everything like that felt good, but as soon as the ball was kicked off, it felt a little bit worse. So, a bit of a flat performance, as we've mentioned on the show many times since the game. And, we just never felt in it. It never felt good. And, it wasn't fun up there at all.
There were some positives. I thought Cronulla Blake, again, just lights out performance, trying to take the team on his shoulders. But when it gets to moments like that where it was, 14-6?
Yeah.
We'd scored our try to come back into it. They need more than Cronulla Blake, and no one kind of went with him. I thought Kale Ira had a pretty good game until the end. He had a few errors there, but overall, just a disappointing performance, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fascinating to see how they bounce back. We'll talk about the Warriors very shortly. But where do we need to improve on last week, aside from enthusiasm and sort of bouncing around? What do you
see? It felt like an attitude thing, right? But obviously holding the ball and completing our sets and not making silly penalties and errors, like that goes a long way to helping us. But it just felt very flat, and it almost felt like we were on the bye week early. So maybe we had gotten to the bye week early and that was where everyone's head was at. But unfortunately, we just didn't put in a performance to be proud of.
That is interesting you say that, because that is a widespread belief. The thing is, though, Gary, you and I were here last week and we saw them train, and you obviously see them most days. There was no feeling like that. They definitely didn't take them lightly. I want to just put that one out there, and I know it's going to get some criticism, but they didn't.
That's the confusing part, really.
They didn't take them lightly. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way that a C. Fitzgibbon team against his former team, against a team that has Tedesco and Radley and guys like that, they're not going to take them lightly. But the thing about the bye is, I think subconsciously that was a thing floating around, and maybe come game time they thought, let's get through this and get to the bye week.
Yeah.
But it took more than that, obviously.
It's a tricky one to put the finger on. I'm not exactly sure what went wrong, but obviously, we've spoken about travel, but we're not allowed to anymore, Ben. I'm not going to talk about it. But there's been a few trips here and there, and I think everyone was sort of keen to get back to the family, see a few people they haven't seen for a while, and maybe settle down and have a bit of a rest. But unfortunately, we just needed to play a game of football before we did that.
Well, hopefully, as Craig Fitzgibbon talks about a lot in lessons, hopefully that's a lesson for the team or whatever individuals need to learn that lesson, because, you just can't turn up and play without that extra effort, enthusiasm, especially this year. Like, any team can beat any team. Yeah. It's been proven. The Dragons beat the Storm. You know what I mean? Like, it's proven. So it was disappointing. I think for me, more than the result, it was the performance. It was just flat. And I understand they've been through a lot this year, and they have traveled a lot. And
we can't hold on to it anymore, though.
No, we can't. But I'm saying, like, I wasn't in those shoes. Like, I don't know what it's like to physically do all that kind of thing and then turn up and play in Gosford against the Roosters, knowing that I'm 80 minutes away from a bit of a break. Like, maybe that does play on your mind more than we think. It sucks, and hopefully that won't be a thing moving forward, because we have got another bye in about 5 weeks. So maybe they learn from that and move on, but not much we can do about it now. We do know that Tall Tom Hazelton will be out for some time. We've listed it as 3 months, which we think is pretty accurate, which will have him back final rounds, I think, of the
very,
season.
very late in the season, unfortunately.
So maybe you rest him for the finals. I'm not sure, or he plays a cup game or something. I don't know, but disappointing news.
Yeah, very disappointing. Obviously, Tom's been strong for us when he's been on the field this year, and to have a guy like that go down, for an extended period, 3 months is a long time. So, we're going to miss him in the middle there, but we've got guys who need to step up now, and they can step up. And, at the end of the day, we've got guys like Tooks and Billy Burns and all these middle forwards and edge forwards who aren't getting a run. So hopefully some of those boys step up now and get a spot in the side that they can keep and put in performances worthy of keeping that spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure when Toby Rudolph is back, but he's an obvious candidate to slot in there as well. Yep. So there is some hope there, and there are some troops there. But A, we're disappointed for Tall Tom because he's been awesome, and B, he is awesome. But also, we don't want any more of those middles to go down. We don't want that to be a thing where we're getting short. But at the moment, I think we'll be okay, especially if Toby's back sooner rather than later.
It's probably one of those spots where we've got a bit more depth at the moment, so we're not too worried about that. But obviously, looking at the outside backs, that's probably an area that we need to, work out what's going on there, because we've got a few guys down and out. And next man up, who is also coming back from injury. It's hard to see, just how they can sort of kick off and get running the way they'll need to after an extended break. Guys like Sione Katoa. Obviously, Ma was out for a little while and came back for that game without much of a run. So, we've got to get Miles in the legs and game time under the belt. And hopefully, we can get those guys back in the side sooner rather than later.
So on this very show, Sione Katoa uttered the words to me round 14, which is next week against the Warriors. Now, people have been at me about that. Is it true? Is it happening? It's like, I don't know. I can only go on what he said. But if that's the case, he'll be rushed in, I would think, and not play cup. I mean, that's just my opinion. It could go either way, obviously, but I think that might be the way to go because he's so experienced. He's a fit guy. It's just a matter of, okay, he might be a bit off match fitness, obviously, but maybe you do rush him in given that we're short on troops. Otherwise, I think there could be a debutant coming in. It would probably be Chris Viola. Hiroti is there as well. I thought that center is more his preferred position, but I also thought that the Tupu tries made him look worse on the wing than what he is, because he's played on the wing and he's played well for us.
Absolutely.
So that shouldn't be a problem moving forward. And also, I think Mawini will be better for that game. And now he's got a 2-week break, should he be picked there. We know Ronaldo's going to be missing as well. So it does throw a spanner in the works. Ronaldo got the 1-week suspension. So it's a little bit dire out there without knowing what's going on as far as who's eligible to play or not. Whether maybe the coach does go, no, Katoa's going to play cup, but it's a tricky one.
It's a tricky one, especially when he's only played a little bit of a trial. Like obviously, Sione needs to get that match fitness back, and it's really hard to.
I guess I forgot
to get
about that
until you play a game. So maybe you do throw him in. I mean, they've been working on his fitness definitely, and he's not going to rush him out there if he's not ready to go. Like if Fitzy picks him, he's ready to go. That's
interesting, Gary. In my head, he'd played some games for some reason, but you're right. It was here running right down this sideline
against the Warriors.
Okay, so he really does need some fitness.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's been on the field, unfortunately. Cup. So,
but as I said, experienced.
Exactly, yeah. He is an experienced guy. He's one of the best wingers we can select in that spot, especially when we've got Ronnie out. We kind of need him there. Too. So he's ready to go. He wants to get back out on the field.
That's
obviously.
Interesting, man. So, That's interesting.
It's gonna be interesting, the selections there. But with Ronnie out, Sam Stonestreet's obviously injured. We need to get some experience back in that back line, I think. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him named, but obviously they won't rush him back unless he's ready.
Do you think there's any chance Dan Atkinson plays on a wing?
We've seen it there before, right? We've seen him named there and played there up in Coffs last year or the year before, whenever we were last there.
So
Mars, obviously, a name we can put there.
So Chris, if everyone's fit in the Warriors, the problem's going to be it'll be RTS on one wing and it'll be DWZ on the other.
That's right.
Jardine's cousin. So two tall, talented, high-flying dudes.
Yeah.
So that I think you at least need some height. So maybe Viola comes in because he's tall, right?
Yeah.
Reasonably tall. He's inexperienced at this level. But then you got Hiroti on the other wing, so he's going to have to fly a bit higher than we did last week. Or do you put in Katoa, who's just green this year?
It's a tough one. A very
he's
tough one.
not exactly a tall fella either, but he's our number one, one of our number one wingers.
Yes.
So he gets the automatic selection when he's fit.
It's hard to throw Chris in there for a debut as well against those sorts of guys, but you know
Sharks
what better place to do it than
they
right
like
here.
debuting kids
This
here.
is the spot.
They
So
like debuting kids here. But yeah, that's geez.
an
No wonder
interesting one.
the coach is working hard here. He's doing extra hours this week, so he's got a lot to consider.
There's a lot to think about there, especially in that back five sort of area. He's got some decisions to make. So
all right, so we got the Warriors coming here next Saturday. It's 5:30 kickoff, so Saturday week, depending on when you're watching this, but Saturday week. And it's going to be awesome, as all Shark Stadium events are. There is a flag game on before. I'm guessing that's 3-ish.
yeah, it'd be roughly around that time.
So you can get here around then, watch the kids play. They're coming first or second, I believe.
They've had a good run. I think they've won the last 7 in a row, so they're climbing up that ladder. And yeah, they're doing really well. So another good win up in Gosford, and hopefully they can kick on from there.
Depending on team selections, you might see O'Reilly Pollard, you might see Felix Vartili. There's a bunch of really great players who
Great
you're going
names in that side.
Names and
skills and players.
Talent, yeah. So you'll be hearing about these guys in the future, that's for sure. So we do encourage you to come watch that early, because that's what it's all about. The kids of the future, and some of these guys will kick on to first grade for sure. And Warriors high flying. They're in the top 4. They've been there all year. Luke Metcalf, who we know pretty well, is tearing it up. He's leading the Dally M's. He's overtaken our Will. And they're in great form. They're not going to back down from a fight. They will be in it up to their eyeballs. It's going to be a close one. And they've won the last 2 games here, which is terrifying. And I say that because of the way they've done it. They've come back from really big deficits, as most of you remember. And they have won the game in the final minutes. So no Sean Johnson this year, thank God.
Not playing his last game ever either.
But who knows what's going to happen with his Fox Sports commitments. Maybe he'll be here in the house to lift them.
He could be.
So we're hoping not, with all respect to Sean, but it's going to be tough either way.
Yeah, definitely. As you mentioned, they've been in such good form throughout the whole year so far. So, sitting in that top 4, pretty at the moment. So Luke Metcalf's doing a really good job. They've got some experienced outside backs, and their forwards can run through the middle when they need to. So we're going to need to be on our game. We're going to need to turn around a performance that was pretty bad and do what we did against the Storm the week prior. I think if we come out, we control the middle of the ruck, and we get that quick play of the ball, and guys like Blake, they're darting out a dummy half, setting up plays on the outside, I think we'll be right. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game, and yeah, make sure you get your tickets early, because I think this one will be a sellout for sure.
Definitely get your tickets. Warriors fans like to travel, so you don't want to miss out on tickets. You also don't want to miss out on this beautiful jersey, which we haven't spoken about. We just let you look at it for the past 13 and a half minutes. Probably 13 minutes, because the first 30 seconds were bloopers. But this is the Pacifica jersey.
It is.
Now, I know Adam Barnes had a lot to do with this. Do you know anyone else who was involved with it? Names?
In terms of players or staff, or where are we?
Former players.
Former players. I'm not sure about former players. I know.
I don't want to
Pacifica
disrespect anyone, but there was I can't think of his last name, but a fellow called Leo who played here back a while ago, and he's Pacific Islander, and he had involvement in this. I know this because a friend of a friend told me that he's going to be in the house next week, and he had something to do with this design. But everyone involved looks amazing.
Yeah,
do a little turnaround as well for us. Yeah, it's really nice, really beautiful jersey, and
great sponsor integration.
That's available now.
It is. It's in the store right now. So if you want to grab one online or up in the Shark store behind us, you can. They're on the shelves and ready to go. So we'll be wearing it against the Warriors, and yeah, you can be wearing yours too at the game.
I've got a feeling there'll be a lot in the house wearing that jersey. So you can get it, as Gary said, from the site. You can get it from the store, or you can get it game day, which is 3 great options, of course. And I mean, this is the burst out range, which I've been wearing proudly.
You've been loving it, haven't you?
I love it.
Such a good range.
There is just lots available, and we talk about it now so much because they're doing such a great job. Not to say that I haven't in the past, but they're just peaking right now. Barnesy and his crew, Sharks merch. It's
always feels like something new's coming out. They're sending me broke.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure on them, because now it's like, what's next? And there actually are things coming. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. They're doing such a good job. So keep it up, Barnesy and the team up there.
Yes. So 5:30 Saturday week against the Warriors here at beautiful Sharks Stadium. Gary, after that, so we've got a 4-week stretch. We got after the bye, we got Warriors.
Yep.
We got my favorite day of the year right here. Local derby on a Thursday night. So get ready for that.
Short
One game at a time, but get ready. And then we have Broncos away, which is a longer turnaround, up at Suncorp on a Sunday afternoon. I think it's at 2:00. And then a week later after that, we have Melbourne away at 2:00 in Melbourne. So it's not the easiest stretch, but I love the fact we're on a 4-week block and the guys can put it up on their whiteboards. Warriors at home, Dragons at home, Brisbane away, Melbourne away, then a bye. I don't want to talk about the bye because it gets us in a lot of trouble.
Let's just go one game at a time.
One game at a time. And when we get to that Melbourne game and the bye is ahead of us, I don't want... In fact, let's not tell them there's a bye coming up.
Yeah, let's just pretend we're playing the next
After
week.
Melbourne, you got someone else. You're playing the burger. But I like the fact that it's a block of games. We've seen in the past with Craig Fitzgibbon and his crew that they plan things out that way. And, I mean, last year we had that stretch of, I think it was 5 or 6 games against the top teams, mostly away from home, and got most of the wins there. So the way they structure that is really helpful with planning everything from rehab to game day, everything in between, which you know a lot about.
Travel and everything like that, yeah. And obviously it's a good stretch to really test us out. Like, you know, obviously the Dragons have been pretty hot and cold this year, but when it comes to a local derby, they're always up and in the game. So that's going to be a real physical battle.
Gary. Say it. Out the window.
Out the window. Forget form. It's gone. But yeah, they'll be up for it. And obviously Brisbane and Melbourne, they're 2 of the competition heavyweights. So yeah, we'll be in for it for the next 4 weeks, but it's a great little 4-week block to really test us out and put us in good stead for the back of the season when, you know, we want to be winning more games than we're losing. And it's such a tight competition, as you mentioned at the top of the show, that we need to be closing out these games and, yeah, really making a run for it at the back end of the year.
Yes, we do. It's going to be an exciting month. I'm excited just looking around this beautiful stadium of ours. Can't wait to be here on Thursday. I can see my seat from here, Gary.
Me too. Such a good day here.
Yeah, our seats, I should say.
Our seats next to each other.
So we encourage you to come down if you can make it. Warriors at home Saturday week. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a good game.
Get your tickets because it's going to sell out. It's an afternoon-ish game, 5:30, and pretty time friendly for everyone. I would think involved. Sometimes like the 7:30 game, it's too late. The 3:00, it's too early. Smack bang in the middle.
This is perfect timing. My kids might be annoying you up in the seats up there, but
they usually do. Gary. No, I'm
it.
kidding. I love them. I love all 9 of them. We're on Gary. I don't want to get too personal here, but we're on birth watch here for Gary and the beautiful Beck. So if you need to go at any second,
no, we should be right for the next couple of weeks, hopefully. But we'll see what happens anytime now.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to SharkCast. This is the Gaz and Shinazz show. He's Gaz. I'm Shinazz. And you can hear this on any audio platform if that's more your preference. Just subscribe to SharkCast on whatever podcast app you listen to. If you're on the YouTube, give us a subscribe, give us a like. It's free and it helps us a lot. We're on all the socials you can think of, I would imagine. Give us a like, follow there, say g'day. Do what you got to do to spread SharkCast around this globe of ours, because we are going to be in your grill and you want to be with us in that grill as we spread shark news all around Shark Nation. Hey, thanks for your time, Gary.
Thanks for having me. I always love jumping on with you, so it's good to be back.
It's your show. So
half my show.
Half your show.
50%.
Soon it'll be the Rob and Willis and Shinazz and Troy and Jess show.
Everyone's coming on.
Or maybe we'll do it from the birthing center.
Hey, there's an idea.
That could be
I
cool.
reckon that'd get ratings.
Oh, mate, that'll get through the roof. Here's a new Dover. We'll see you later. Up, Cronulla.
Up.
Let's go.